We've been working on getting a story ready for you. You may have seen some headlines that suggested Carl Icahn has built what was characterized as a large stake in Caesars. I can tell you, I just got off the phone with Carl Icahn a little while ago, just before we came on the air, who told me, quote, "I like Caesars and I own some stock." I got the feeling from talking to him that, maybe he'd dispute the characterization of a large stake. He's used to building really large stakes in companies. So whatever the size of the stake is, he made it clear to me that they do own some shares, that he likes Caesars. And I thought what was interesting as well is, at least as we stand here today, I wouldn't look at this as an activist play, per se. Obviously he's one of, if not the best known activist investor of all time. But he made it clear that he likes the management, he likes the CEO, and that at least today, that there are no plans for activism in this name. Could that change? Of course, things could always change. The other interesting thing is that it's not his first rodeo, as some of you may know, with Caesars itself, in that we were talking about this back in 2019. When he had amassed what was then a very large stake. And remember, he was instrumental in the deal with El Dorado at that time. So he knows Caesars better than most. He has made an activist play in the past. Contessa Brewer covers this space. She's going to join me now. So this is interesting news on your beat. If for, one reason it's Icahn, and he's been dabbling in casinos for, gosh, decades. And here he is back in Caesars, at least with a position, not necessarily with an activist idea. But what's your take here?
Well, so my gut on this, and I had been playing phone tag with Mr. Icahn about activism in the casino space. And so when I got hold of him, and I just have hung up with him, Scott, following your phone call with him, my takeaway is that Caesars is undervalued right now, and that it's on fire, and they've been setting record over record in Las Vegas. The regionals are still performing well, and he has, as you said, all the faith in the world in the current leadership of Caesars. CEO Tom Reeg and Carl Icahn have a long history, and in fact, it was Icahn who was instrumental in bringing El Dorado's acquisition bid to Caesars. And he had something like a 10% stake of Caesars at the time. And he was the one that made that happen, to the chagrin of senior management at Caesars at the time. They did not want this little David in the casino space taking over the Goliath that is Caesars. And Carl Icahn was very clear. And I would say, based on my discussions in the space with the executives there, almost handpicking Tom Reeg to lead the newly merged companies together. And so my sense is that he's not going into any position in Caesars with the idea that he wants to change the way that it's operating, but rather because it's a good deal. For instance, he sold, after the acquisition happened, he sold out of the stake, I believe, somewhere in the neighborhood of $45 a share. Caesars stock then went even higher. Carl Icahn thought he had sold too early, had sort of jumped the gun, and now the stock is back below the value. Even now, look at the jump, still at $35.59. And may be just simply a good investment. It's a good value buy right now, as many of the casino stocks might be considered. If you look at Las Vegas Sands, if you look at Wynn right now, they are getting no credit for the reopening in Macau. And what's more, they may be suffering from investor sentiment that says, "Ooh, we're a little iffy on China. We don't know if we want to jump in there. We don't know what China's going to do." And so there are many casinos that might be considered good buys. I actually asked Carl Icahn on the phone about Penn Entertainment, because there's an activist letter out today saying that Penn is not operating where it should be, that its bricks and mortar casinos are undervalued. And I thought that maybe Carl Icahn was interested in taking a stake in Penn as well. And he said, no, he doesn't own any of Penn at all. But as you can see, there are opportunities, and investors think that there are opportunities that if they can get in and make an activist move, they could make some money.
Yeah. Look, he has played what's been characterized as the booms and the busts of Vegas, as I said, for decades. The old Fontainebleau in 2017, selling that, quadrupling the money that he had initially invested. Some have called his deal with the Stratosphere one of the best deals ever made out in Vegas. So he knows the Strip and properties off Strip better than most, as I said. And here he is, at least, Contessa, with, I guess, a play on the continued boom of Las Vegas. If we do think that one is going to continue out there, he doesn't necessarily think he needs activism to get the stock to a better position than where it is now. We've said, what is it? I think you said it's down 20% or so year to date.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me, Scott.
I think it's 20. I think it's 20. I think it's a 20% loser year to date, which is probably leading to it's undervalued commentary, like he generally looks for opportunities in.
Well, one more thing that I want to mention. I also reached out to the CEO of Caesars, Tom Reeg, and I asked him for his reaction to this report that Icahn had increased his stake in Caesars. And he said, if Carl Icahn thinks it's undervalued, we concur. And he has intimated most recently on his earnings call that their capital expenditures are coming to an end, that the renovations, for instance, in New Orleans are coming to an end, and they've got some money to spend. And that may be put to good use in buybacks here. He has hinted that those are coming because of where the share price is and because of having the extra, the cash on hand to do so. Mm-hmm. So there may be buybacks here as well as increased stake from investors like Carl Icahn.
Yeah, there could be the nudge to do a buyback or something like that. I mean, obviously he has history there as well, famously really with Apple. Arguing that at the time he was in that position where I think, if I recall correctly, he made, I think, $2 billion in the position that he had many, many years ago at this point with Apple. It was the pushing and pushing and pushing for a buyback, and now Apple buys back more stock than I think anybody in the entire market. Jim Lebenthal's with me, too. You don't own Caesars, obviously, but you do own Wynn.
Yep.
That's the way you've been playing this space. What do you make of this news?
Well, I think he's absolutely right. I think Wynn is very undervalued, and Caesars even more so. And, look, I've been very frustrated with Wynn, and maybe Mr. Icahn is seeing the same opportunity that Las Vegas is going gangbusters. I mean, let's just start there. Las Vegas is going gangbusters. Contessa, I'm sure you're watching the April Las Vegas Convention and Visitor Statistics report, which came out either today or yesterday. Across the board, whether it's RevPAR, convention attendance, well up year over year. And April was not a month in which you had the F1 or a Super Bowl. So Las Vegas just continues to outperform, to the concept of buybacks. And I've been saying this, Contessa, you and I have been talking about this. Wynn's been buying back stock. Mm-hmm. These stocks have not gotten credit for just how well they're doing. And there's always an excuse, whether it's Macau or the belief that Las Vegas is going to fall off a cliff. They're just not happening. So you know what? In that situation, you want companies buying back stock. Scott, with regards to activism, and you know Carl far better than anyone, I don't think he needs to be an activist here. I don't think management at either company or any of these companies are doing a bad job. I think they're doing a fabulous job. The stock market just doesn't give a whit, and eventually it's going to give a whit, even if if it takes so much time for the stocks to be bought back by the company, so be it. These companies operationally are killing it.
All right. We'll continue to follow this. Contessa, I really appreciate you jumping on with us and giving your expertise on this space.
Sure thing.
Certainly as you're off the phone like I was with Mr. Icahn himself. That's Contessa Brewer joining us, and we'll continue to watch those shares, which are up about 12%. Again, Carl confirming to me a while ago, just before showtime, like Caesars, owns some stock. So we'll follow that.